Work is the essential thing that can make your life successful in a new country. Everything else can come later. Therefore, you have to have good communication abilities to interact with the right people in your field of interest, right vocabulary, and the best way to say your ideas are crucial. Here, I'm going to show you how to search for your new working opportunity in Canada and to participate in conversations in order to appear clever and comfortable. You will have here 1. Job searching ideas, 2. Templates, 3. Comments. This video will help you to find and get your work, adjust yourself to it, and settle in your new Canadian life. 1. Job searching ideas. Job searching ideas explanation. Listing problem-solving skills on a resume with examples, November 2, 2021, by Indeed editorial team. Regardless of your industry, employers typically value candidates who can identify what caused an issue and develop practical solutions to overcome it. To show your ability to solve problems when searching for a job, you can include this skill on your resume. Understanding how to list problem-solving qualities on a resume can help your job search and make your application unique. In this article, we discuss why it's important to list problem-solving skills on a resume, present skills to describe, show ways to include these skills, and provide an example to guide you. Why include problem-solving skills on a resume? Listing problem-solving skills on a resume is important because organizations typically experience challenges. For example, a sales department may have challenges reaching targets, or an essential team member may be unavailable. Successfully dealing with these issues require you to apply your problem-solving skills. Solving problems also involves handling unexpected changes, difficult situations effectively. Evaluate your ability to solve problems you expect to occur and show how you handled them in previous roles when creating your resume. According to Statistics Canada studies, employment opportunities and potential earnings are typically higher for individuals with strong problem-solving skills. Examples of problem-solving skills to include on your resume. Here are essential skills that show you can solve problems in your expected role. Research. Problem-solving typically begins by identifying the cause of an issue and completely understanding it. You can start by gathering more information from team members, consulting with more experienced colleagues, or using online resources. Research skills can also help when searching for practical solutions. For example, you can apply this skill to find a management method that enables you to progress through projects quickly. Analytical skills are qualities for objectively evaluating a situation and generating ideas about it. They are important for understanding why a situation occurred. Analytical skills can also help you distinguish between solutions or differentiate online sources when conducting research. Creativity. Creativity involves being flexible and thinking of original solutions to a problem. You can use this skill to find research sources, brainstorm ideas, and reach conclusions. For example, you may apply your creativity when looking for a solution to a department's budgeting problem. Creativity in problem solving involves exploring new approaches to an issue. Decision making. After finding several alternatives, you can typically only select one option. Decision-making skills can help you choose among alternatives to ensure effective problem solving. For example, if there are multiple ways of solving a financial problem, applying your decision-making qualities can help you select an option that offers the best economic value. Communication. Throughout the problem-solving stages, you can expect to more effectively communicate with your team and other professionals. Communication is the ability to interact and exchange information with others for them to understand. For example, you can apply this skill when explaining the issue to professionals who may provide support and present your findings to stakeholders. Depending on the problem you want to solve, you may communicate information verbally or in writing. Ways to improve your problem-solving skills. Here are several methods you can use to improve your ability to solve problems. Acquire more technical knowledge in your field. Depending on your industry, it may be easier to solve problems if you have strong technical knowledge. For example, if you work in medicine, it may be easier to diagnose and treat medical conditions. If you have medical knowledge of and experience treating the condition, you can gain more technical knowledge through additional coursework, practice, or training. Practice problems. Seek opportunities to develop solutions to problems and view problem solving as a learning experience. For example, you can volunteer to solve a problem in your current role outside of your work environment or for another team or department. Practicing problems can help you prepare for issues that may occur and reduce the time you might spend researching possible solutions. Observe. How others solve problems. If you have colleagues who are skilled problem solvers, you can learn how they approach issues and develop solutions, ask relevant questions when learning from experienced candidates, and identify the techniques they use. Observing others can help you gain insights into methods of problem solving that you can apply to your work. How to include problem-solving skills on your resume. Follow these steps to list problem-solving qualities on your resume. 1. Identify the problem-solving skills you have. Start by reflecting on your career to recognize your ability to solve problems. For example, if you're a technical professional, you can explain your troubleshooting skills on your resume. Ensure the skills you identify accurately describe tasks you can complete using them, and check that they relate to the position you're applying for in a company. You also may want to look for practical examples of applying the skills you mention in previous roles. 2. Assess your ability to use problem-solving skills. Perform a self-assessment of your problem-solving skills. A self-assessment helps you evaluate your qualifications, progress, and career development. Completing one can provide insights into how you can better describe your ability to find effective solutions. 3. Decide on where to include your problem-solving skills. You can list your problem-solving skills in your skills section or experience section. Mentioning these abilities in your experience section enables you to expand on the tasks you can complete with them. In contrast, including them in a bullet list with other skills can improve their visibility to hiring managers and recruiters. Examples of problem-solving skills on your resume. Here are examples of how to list your problem-solving skills on your resume. Example of problem-solving skills within a resume skills section. This example shows how to include problem-solving skills in the skills section of your resume. Taylor Harry, Toronto, Ontario, 244-444-7667. taylorharry@email.com. Professional summary. Dedicated financial manager with 5 years of relevant experience conducting quantitative and qualitative analysis to help businesses make informed decisions. Excellent analytical, numerical, and problem-solving skills, and 3-time winner of the Garrett Trade Magazine's Financial Professional of the Year Award. Work experience. Financial manager, High Drive Hill Limited, Toronto, Ontario, April 2020 June 2021. Managed finance department of the organization and oversaw 15 financial personnel, including analysts, interns, and accountants, performed analysis of quantitative market data and discovered insights leading to a 15% increase in profits, created financial reports and presented them to company executives. Financial analyst, Briggs & Hills Limited, Toronto, Ontario, September 2018, January 2020, developed data management procedures for the finance department, analyzed financial data and conducted due diligence on a $2 billion merger and acquisition deal, prepared financial reports containing company investments and recommendations, collaborated with other financial analysts to develop forecasting and reporting systems to improve the accuracy of financial data. Educational background, Master of Professional Accountancy, MPAC, Keetown University, Toronto, Ontario, 2016 to 2017. Bachelor of Accounting, Keetown University, Toronto, Ontario, 2012 to 2016. Skills, strategic development, problem solving, presentation, leadership, customer service, concept implementation, risk management, financial accounting, communication. Example of problem-solving skills within a resume experience section. This example shows how to list problem-solving qualities with your previous duties on a resume. Michael Oho, Toronto, Ontario, 245-656-0909. Mitchell Oho@email.com. Professional summary, award-winning financial analyst looking for opportunities to apply problem-solving and critical thinking skills in a consulting firm, skilled at assessing qualitative and quantitative data for discrepancies and recommending effective solutions to financial issues. Work experience, financial analyst, Adele & Paul Incorporated, Toronto, Ontario, June 2016, September 2018, researched financial market to resolve compliance issues for the company, participated in a team project to perform due diligence for a $24 million joint venture, supervised and trained over 6 interns looking to begin their careers in financial analysis, created financial portfolios for individual and business clients by working with accounting professionals, developed solutions for management of record expenses across enterprises, worked with other financial analysts to develop reporting system, which increased the availability of financial data and improved profits by 6%. Educational background, Master of Professional Accountancy, MPAC, Keetown University, Toronto, Ontario, 2015 to 2016. Bachelor of Accounting, Keytown Jet University, Toronto, Ontario, 2010 to 2014. Skills: strategic development, problem solving, presentation, leadership, customer service, documentation and reporting, corporate finance, concept implementation, risk management, financial accounting, effective communication, professional organizations, member, CFA Society Ontario, member, Canadian Securities Institute. Get the other videos, they will help you to move and adjust yourself to your new life here in Canada. I wish I could say some nice words and cool you down, but here is the thing, you have to go deep into your practice to develop your skills to talk. We post 3 videos every week, videos of English, French and on the Canadian job market. We teach you the basics of grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary in English and French. Also, this video improves your chances to get a job in Canada. You can have all the videos if you hit the subscribe button and like and bell icons to receive them and increase your ability to speak and settle in Canada. 2. Templates explanation.
What is a working interview? With benefits and tips, October 26, 2021, by Indeed editorial team. There are various interviewing methods employers use to find the right candidate for their position. They may range from the traditional sit-down interview to something that looks more like a typical workday. As a candidate, it's important to learn about the type of interview you agree to, so you know how to prepare effectively. In this article, we discuss what a working interview is, describe some benefits of the interview format, share some tips, and explore some alternate interview methods. What is a working interview? A working interview is an interview method where job candidates demonstrate their ability to perform jobs or tasks, unlike in a traditional interview, where an employer asks questions to a candidate. During a working interview, a candidate is assigned work to complete, and an employer observes or monitors them and makes a hiring decision based on the results. You can think of it as similar to an actor auditioning for a play, as it provides candidates with a chance to show an employer how well they can perform the tasks that the job requires. For example, an employer hoping to fill the junior editor position at a publishing house may hold an interview where they provide a potential employee with an article that requires extensive editing and then give them an hour to edit it. Once the candidate finishes editing the article or the hour concludes, the employer can check the candidate's editing to see how well they did with the task. If they did a thorough job and made intelligent changes, the employer may offer the candidate the junior editor role. Benefits of working interviews. Both employers and candidates can benefit from working interviews for the following reasons. Provides proof of your abilities. Unlike in a traditional interview, where an employer asks theoretical questions to a candidate, in a working interview, the candidate demonstrates their basic skills and abilities. Working interviews are ideal for skilled workers who are capable of completing technical tasks. If you're confident in your skills and work well under pressure, this interview method may benefit you. Working interviews also give employers a more accurate understanding of a candidate's suitability for a job, as they get to observe a candidate completing relevant tasks. This interview method also reduces the likelihood of an employer hiring a candidate because they're talented at interviewing. Instead, it gives a more accurate depiction of how they may work if hired, allows a candidate to try out the job. Working interviews allow candidates to try out a job before signing a contract and fully committing to work for the employer. Although you can always read a job description, the work you end up doing may be quite different than described. You may complete tasks you weren't informed of and find that you enjoy them. Working interviews also allow you to experience how it is to work for this employer, as you can perceive the way they manage and the tasks they assign, which can help you determine if it's the right choice for you. Teaches about a company's culture. Working interviews can allow you to learn more about a company's culture before committing to work there. If a potential employer gives you a task to complete at the company's workspace, observe how the company operates and your potential coworkers. Some indications of a good company culture that you may look out for include employees who have worked there for a long time, friendly interactions amongst coworkers, diversity of staff, management are actively involved and assisting their team, a comfortable working environment. Look out for these positive indications and consider if you can imagine yourself working there. Shortens the interview time. Working interviews can significantly shorten the duration it takes to conduct interviews for a position. This difference in time is because an employer can have multiple candidates complete tasks at once instead of sitting down with each candidate individually. For example, using this method of interviewing to find a new junior editor can significantly reduce the primary interview time because an unlimited number of candidates can edit their assigned articles at one time. Working interviews can also be beneficial to hiring companies as they can observe candidates working simultaneously simultaneously. This allows employers to compare them while working side by side and see who seems to be the most adequate candidate for the position. For example, all candidates could edit the same article, which makes comparing their abilities easier. Working interview tips. Here are some tips to consider if you're preparing for a working interview. Establish expectations up front. Before you begin your interview, inquire about the work you may be doing and what compensation you're receiving. Many employers can pay you either a flat rate or an hourly rate for the work you do during your interview, but if that's not in the plan, you can decide whether you're comfortable with that. Research the company. Even though this isn't a traditional interview, it's still vital that you learn some details about the company. This way, you can reflect their values through the work that you do. Pay attention to detail. Since you want to impress the employer, make sure you reread the directions and ensure you have accounted for every detail. Use all the time they give you to make sure you did the job right. Dress for success. Even though it's an interview, it's important to still wear nice clothes as you would to any other interview, unless they tell you otherwise. Formal business attire that fits you well and is clean and wrinkle-free is a safe option. Find your confidence. Remind yourself that you're capable of the work that the employer gives you. Try to remain positive and assured of your capabilities so that the employer notices your confidence. Ask smart questions. Before asking the employer any questions, ensure that you have read the instructions thoroughly. If you're still unsure of anything, ask for clarification so you can do the job correctly. Employees frequently ask informed questions during work to ensure they complete tasks correctly, so feel free to do so now. Show your enthusiasm. Even if a task is challenging, show that you can handle anything while having a positive attitude. Staying calm and collected during your interview shows employers that you work well under pressure. Make a lasting impression, along with providing an opportunity to assess your work. Working interviews allow employers and their employees to get to know you better. If you're working in the office for a day or two, make sure to introduce yourself to those around you and be friendly. Alternatives to working interviews. Although working interviews can be an excellent tool for employers, they may use alternative interview methods to test your skills. Get to know these alternatives to working interviews. Panel interview. Some companies use panel interviews to find the right candidate. During a panel interview, various company representatives, like management and human resources, can ask questions of a candidate. Often, there is one primary interviewer, and the other representatives can ask questions at any time. If they have them, these interviews can benefit the hiring company as multiple people contribute their opinions in determining who the best candidate is for the job. Panel interviews also save time for the candidate, as they are interviewed once by multiple people instead of various one-on-one interviews. Working through a temp agency. Some employers seek the help of temp agencies to find and hire skilled employees for them. Essentially, you may be considered an employee of the temp agency as you perform the employer's tasks for the number of days they request. By the end of your temporary employment, the company that hired the temp agency can offer you full-time employment through their company, rather than the temp agency. Companies looking to do many working interviews frequently choose this method, so they don't require establishing employer-employee relationships with their candidates. Skills testing. A skills test is a less intensive version of a working interview. Rather than having you work for a few hours, or even a full day, the employer may give you one task or a test to take. For example, if you're applying to be an editor, they may ask you to make corrections to a couple of paragraphs. They typically do this in combination with a second traditional interview. As employers usually save skills tests for promising candidates, you are rarely compensated for a skills test, since they usually only take an hour or so to complete.
Get all the videos to know how to contact your future employer in Canada, how to write a nice resume and cover letter, and to search for a nice job. Here in the description, you have some employers who want to give a letter to invite you to apply for Canadian immigration and join them. Get this data and contact them. You may get a job and go to Canada. 3 tips, free tips. How to research and talk confidently about salary requirements. October 5, 2021. By Indeed editorial team. Salary requirements are a critical element when considering a new job offer or accepting a promotion. Many factors make up a salary expectation for each individual. Speaking confidently about your wage requirements can help you during the hiring process or increase your existing wage. In this article, we discuss the definition and purpose of asking about salary requirements, identify how to research wage expectations, and offer tips for confidently negotiating your salary expectations. What is the definition of salary requirements? Salary requirements, also called salary expectations, refer to the amount of money an individual needs to accept a job offer from an organization. Many companies request this information to be included in a job application or cover letter when sending in your resume. Recruiters or hiring managers also ask this question during the interview process to gauge your wage expectations. Alternatively, they may ask about your salary history, which allows you to share your previous positions, salary, and benefits package information. Many factors contribute to the decision of a salary expectation, such as industry, salary history, work experience, benefits package, and the cost of living in your area. When determining your desired salary, you also consider your personal quality of life, short and long-term goals, and living expenses. Why do companies ask about salary expectations? There are several reasons a company might ask about your desired salary during the hiring process. These reasons include fitting into their budget. The most obvious reason a recruiter or hiring manager may ask about your salary expectations is to see if your request fits into their budget. When preparing to hire for a position, an organization typically has a salary range in mind based on the duties and responsibilities of the job. Therefore, they want to know if your wage requirements fit into their range, or if they desire to negotiate with you for your employment contract. This information also tells a company if they're out of touch with the current pay standards of the position. For example, if most candidates expect more than the company's range allows, the hiring manager can have a conversation and potentially ask for a larger compensation budget. In addition, by asking about your wage expectations, they can determine if they are competitive in the industry. Gauging your worth. When an employer asks you for your wage requirements, they gauge your confidence in knowing your professional worth. A self-assured job candidate with well-developed skills and expertise understands the value of their knowledge in the marketplace. When determining this number, be sure to factor in your years of experience, professional level, and career achievements you bring with you to any new position. Determining your professional level. Asking about your wage expectations also provides a company with insight into your professional level within an organization. For example, suppose you state a number that is higher than average. In that case, they may consider you as a senior level candidate when they're only seeking to fill a junior level position. Alternatively, giving too low of a number compared to their range can make them think you're less experienced than they desire for the job. How to research job salaries. One of the best ways to prepare to answer the questions about your wage expectations is to research job salaries. Here are 3 simple steps to follow. 1. Use an online salary search function. The first way you can research job salaries is to use Indeed's salary calculator and Indeed's salary search function. When you go to the salary calculator, you can fill in relevant information about your job title, years of experience, and employment location. The calculator then provides you with a range of wages, allowing you to compare the high and low end of the salary range. This is an excellent tool for comparing salaries in your geographic area based on position and experience level. Alternatively, the Indeed salary search function allows you to research different job titles across Canada or a specific geographic location. The results provide you with detailed information about the average salary for the job title along with top employers, highest paying cities, and wages of similar professions. Both pages can support your wage research to know the market and industry average and what you can expect during an interview or salary negotiations. 2. Complete an informational interview. Another excellent option for learning about a job, including the salary range, is to complete an informational interview with a desired employer. Similar to a hiring interview, you speak one-on-one with a recruiter or hiring manager. The goal of the interview is different though, as you focus on learning about the organization, the company culture, the position's duties and responsibilities, and other information like wages and benefits. Many companies offer informational interviews to job seekers looking to expand their knowledge and do their homework before applying for a position. 3. Ask your network. When researching wage expectations, you can also ask your professional network. This can be especially helpful for receiving real-time feedback across various industries and professional levels. Although not everyone feels comfortable sharing salary information, asking your network can provide valuable insights into factors to consider and what different markets are paying based on geographic location, skill level, experience, or academic qualifications. Tips for speaking confidently about your wage requirements. Once you've completed your salary research, you are now prepared to speak confidently and negotiate for your wage requirements. When answering an employer's inquiry into your salary expectations, you want to give the desired range, aim high, and remain flexible. Here are some tips for confidently asking for your desired salary. Know your desired salary range and limitations. There are two key numbers to have prepared when negotiating your salary: the highest and lowest amounts you're willing to accept. You can base these numbers on your research, along with your years of experience, academic qualifications, and skill level. Identifying your limitations is also essential so that you can determine if a wage is too low for your living expenses or personal situation. An employer is more likely to offer on the lower end of the scale when providing a range. For this reason, give a range of your desired wage closer to the bottom amount. It's best to keep a tight variance of between $5,000 and $10,000. For example, if your desired amount is $70,000 and the minimum you'll accept is $68,000, you can state your salary range to be between $70,000 and $75,000. This way, there's a good chance you can begin the negotiation above your minimum expectation. Ask about your employer's expectations. Asking about your employer's expectations can provide insight into their limitations and requirements. To consider your desired wage, consider asking what they need from you to take your salary expectation into negotiation. For example, they may require further information about your credentials, examples of your work, or time to complete a background check. Listening to their perspective builds goodwill during the negotiation process and shows that you want to add tangible value to the organization. Consider other negotiable benefits when negotiating your salary expectations. Another area to consider in the total offered wage is the company's benefits package. Some companies may not provide the pay you desire because of budgetary constraints, expense reduction, or other company policies, so they instead bolster the salary with a significant benefits package. Benefits can include health, dental, and vision healthcare, life insurance, RRSP contributions, or profit sharing. Other negotiable benefits, such as paid time off or a flexible work schedule, can also factor into your desired salary. Select an appropriate time. When negotiating your wage expectations, it's crucial to select an appropriate time for a discussion. For example, it may not be ideal to bring up during the initial interview, depending on the situation. As a potential employee, you can expect salary negotiations after the company has presented a job offer. The employer often provides a time frame for you to consider the employment contract before they expect a decision. During this time, you can submit a counteroffer and begin the negotiation process. Finally, you can consider booking a meeting to talk face-to-face with the hiring manager about your wage expectations. Practice negotiation skills. Effective negotiation is a learned skill that you can develop and improve with practice. Begin by organizing your thoughts into an outline, listing out all the points you want to make. Then, with each qualification or skill that you bring to the company, include the value the company receives in kind. For example, suppose you have over 10 years of experience in accounts receivables and payables with a data entry accuracy rate of 97%. They don't need to train you because of your experience level and can rely on your accuracy and efficiency. This saves the company money, improves customer service, and provides them with an experienced professional who can train other employees when needed. Now that you have some examples and tips here, you are better prepared. Join us and write your story in the comments section below. Ask whatever you want in the comments and we will do our best to answer you. I will have you in our next video. Bye for now.